Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Dearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new den. Remember, no matter who you are valid. And I was looking over there to make sure that the thing that I have ready to read is ready. And what I mean by ready to read is stuff so I don't forget. The reason I'm pointing this direction is I wanted to show that I got my curtain back. That's kind of at an angle, but I placed it real tight up there so it shouldn't fall, but it shouldn't have fallen like it did the other day when all of a sudden it just went plonk. So thumbs up. Great new day. The things I have written down. One of them, first off, 1985, the musician Paul Simon of Simon and Garfunkel's Sound of Silence and all that, but he released a whole bunch of albums, but he released an album called Graceland. And I have been thinking of one of those songs on that one called Boy in the Bubble a lot lately. And one of the reasons, well, there's a couple of them. One of the reasons is there's a kind of music that is odd. And if you've ever listened to some musical soundtracks, if you've ever heard a Danny Elfman song, you know a Danny Elfman song. He has frenetic sounds of deep horn, like tuba, just doing stuff that you wouldn't figure a tuba could do. If it was a person, it would be unable to sit in any one spot for more than 5 or 10 seconds before it's up and doing something. It was frenetic, deep horns in all of his stuff. I like that. Paul Simon in this one song, Boy in the Bubble, does that. Frenetic, deep horn while it's playing. Another is the here's the face, but here's what's really happening sort of feel to it. It's bubbly. It's bouncy. Even it just sounds like something that you want to tap your heels to. You know, it's nice. It sounds good. But when you listen to it, the first thing is about a bomb in a baby carriage that was rigged to go off by radio. And it just talks about that sort of stuff happening. Well, then going into the chorus of, these are the days of miracles and wonder. This is the long distance call. The way the camera follows us in slow motion. The way we look to us all. And it just sounds so nice, but then goes on with this stuff. And it's just depressing, because especially when it ends up with, these are the days of miracles and wonder, and oh, don't cry, baby. Don't cry. Don't cry. Don't cry. Because this is your future. It is well worth crying about. And the thing is, 1985, that's what? 25, 30, 40 years ago. And it is still a song that could be used right now. So thumbs up for that. Yeah, I'm hit with emotion. Yay. And looking over here further, what I have is just a whole bunch of stuff about the setting that I had. So I'm going to talk about some other stuff, and then hopefully I'll get back to that without leaning over like this like I have been. Been going out for walkies, of course, and oh my God, I have an appointment on the 1st of this month with my doctor. I'm hoping I can wait that long, because I'm hoping it's just bone spurs right where it is on my heel that it hurts so much. So I'm hoping that it's just bone spurs and not anything, again, like, you know, fun, like terminal bone cancer or anything like that. The only reason I think bone spurs is when I was a kid, I remember back when I went to a school before it got torn down, and they tore it down while I was in 3rd grade, so this was before I was even in 3rd grade, but I had pain in my heel where it was hard to walk, and I would limp because of the pain in my heel, which is exactly the same sort of thing that's happening now. So that's why I'm on the whole, God, it's probably bone spurs, and not going, well, maybe I should do something to really take care of it. But it really hurts a lot these days. So I'm hoping to last until my doctor's appointment, where I'm going to be talking about things like my blood pressure, everything that my heart did. So yeah, things are being taken care of that way. So very good. It's just ow, 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 ow. Because I went out walking on the path and I timed myself. I didn't race walk, but I went at a good clip. And it takes 13 minutes to walk from one end to the other. And then once I got to the other end, I walked back and it was 13 minutes. Big surprise, same path. But, a long path of going down like this is going to be a lot easier and faster than walking all the way up it. So it balanced out. 13 minutes one way, 13 minutes back. Again, not a huge trail, but I did that. And I've been going out walkies. And one of the things I did buy this morning, because I drink tea, and tea doesn't just magically appear in my possession. I have to purchase tea. I purchased some of this kind of tea. So here's a hoping. Now, here's a hoping that'll taste good. This is one of those bought for flavor, not for anything else types of teas. The other thing, finally, I decided to call about getting better internet, because the wireless here is awful. Literally. I am lucky if I get anywhere from 3 to 5 megabits of upload speed. So one of my 1.5 gigabyte videos takes about 40 minutes to upload. It's horrible, especially since, even though the way my wireless adapter will go out, and it hasn't gone out recently on its own, but here, that cable modem, whatever that has the wireless, it goes out and just stops and resets 5 or 6 times a day. And I have had it go out right in the middle of an upload. And of course, let's see, I was thinking about this one. It's just another one of these awful things where, the click-through page where you have to go, I agree to this, this, and this. I can be watching videos. I can be uploading a file. And then suddenly everything goes into buffering. And then I have to go back to the click-through page, say, I understand, yes, I agree, and then all the wireless starts running again. Why it does that in the middle of my doing everything, all of a sudden, I don't know, but it does. Unfortunately, the people that provide the wireless are the only people that provide service out in the place where we live. So I've had to go and get their service. They were going to call me yesterday about trying to make an appointment. They didn't. I called them today. They said as soon as we hear from our one team and find out what's going on, we're going to be calling you. It is almost 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I haven't heard a thing. I gave up food money. So luckily it's just a week, but I took a big risk giving up food money so that I could get this installed. I hope I can get it installed here. Anyway though, that's life, isn't it? So that's what I'm doing here. Past that, I'm still just trying to sleep. Last night, it took longer than I wanted to fall asleep. I didn't stay asleep as well as I would like, but in the end, I was in bed about 7 hours, and I got sleep. So that's good. That's a plus. I'm not using anything past just taking maybe chamomile tea anymore. I'm not taking any of the Benadryl tablets because that has been linked with dementia. Oh joy. And I'm not taking caffeine tablets because blood pressure. Oh joy. Which means it's just I gotta be tired, or if I'm an idiot and I eat stuff with gluten, I fall into a gluten coma, and so I get tired, and then I will literally fall asleep. If I have like Little Debbie snack cakes, which I haven't had in some time, if I eat that, I've got enough gluten in there. An hour and a half after I eat it, I fall asleep. I cannot stop it. Gluten will knock me out. If it's bread, even if it's just hot dog buns, the gluten in it, hour and a half after I've eaten it, I fall asleep. But then when I wake up, I'm still logy, and I am ready to go to bed when it's getting close to time. So yay on that. But past that, I have been surviving, and that is a good thing. Nothing has really been going on. I have been having appointment stuff happening. I've been trying to get things done. Every time my habit and routine gets broke up, it's hard to get the next thing done. And if that requires a routine breakup, it really knocks things apart in my head. So joy. Now I'm going to do some creative stuff talking, and I hope that people really do enjoy this. I think it's fascinating, and I just hope that other people, as stated, also find it fascinating. It's more game stuff, and I'm going to be doing a game thing here real soon. I'm not going to talk about it because one psychological thing that's a bad thing, our brains are very, very lazy. They are amazing machines, but there are so much cognitive laziness. If you want to get something done, and you go out and you tell people that you want to get this thing done, your brain interprets that as work towards getting it done. So you'll feel accomplished, do nothing, and you've done nothing, but you feel like you have. And you may never follow up because your brain says, done. And it's a cognitive shortcut, and it's not a good one. So if you have something you want to get done, you can't talk about it. Because if it's going to take 3 steps, and you start talking about the first step, now it's going to take 4. Because your brain interprets this as part 1 of 3. So you finish up to 3, and oh, there's another part that needs to get done. So yeah, talking about it, your brain interprets it as getting it done. I'm just saying I've got a game thing, of course, going on with this, but the game thing now. I had mentioned yesterday how on the one continent of Karthkog, where there was the split and now there were the Hulat, the quote-unquote goblin races, where you have the smaller Api Hulat, you have the Habu Hulat, who are like the generalized, more the human beings of this race. And then there are the Orani Hulat. 1 orc, 2 Orani. Yay! And so these are the races. And I'd mentioned that Hulat they use as people. And that Ak Hulat is animal. And that's like, a horse, Ak Hulat. And they refer to anyone who's not Hulat as Ak Hulat. It's an old thing, but it means basically still animal. They're Hulat people, other races, not that. Ak Hulat, animal. Now, one thing that, because I'm trying to make this a living, breathing world, I had forgotten to figure for the fact that younger generations do become more socially conscious when you're not just fighting for survival. The less survival you have to fight for, the more free cognition time you have, and you start doing things. The younger generations, especially among the Habu-Hulat, do not like the fact that Ak-Hulat is being used for anyone who's not Hulat. And that's anyone who is not born on their continent. They are calling like the Goya Hulat and the Dorlin Hulat, the Vandri Hulat. The younger generations, and by that I mean it's like they're still like the boomers of the goblin types, the hulat, but the younger types are casting that off, and it's like they're not animals, they're my friends. So there's the continent of Karthkag, and where the hulat are, and then up where the Dwarlen are, the elven ones, Lanlua. And then I'd been struggling with the name for the southern, more equatorial continent that the humans are from, the Goya. And I think it's more like Stelde, because Karthkag is a spiky, hard word, and Lanlua is a very round and spherical type word, and I needed a word that was in the middle. Not sharp, not round and spherical, but something with texture. Stelde seems to have texture so that it fits between the two of them, more on this side, but not as round as this. After all, they did a study among people, and it doesn't matter who you are, where you are from, what continent. It's like they have two shapes, one that's spiky and one that's not, and they have like names that you would put to them, like one would be Kiki and one would be Wub Wub. Universally, human beings call the spiky one Kiki and the round one Wubba Wub. So we as human beings tend to do that other cognitive thing too. So yeah, right in between, Stelde, I'm hoping that is. Thumbs up for that. So for the setting I've been working on further is, since there has been bad stuff and the goblin type races, the hulat, have not been able to move south into the more happy and friendly lands, they have been stuck for geological reasons up in the very, very bad place where a lot of their resources had to go to survival. While they are the Habu hulat are not any more like tough or stronger or anything like that than a regular human being, but all of the hulat tend to be, they look stockier, and their jaws are a little tougher, their teeth are a little bigger, they look more brutish, their eyebrows beetle over their eyes, fingers are a little wider, fingernails are, well, they're not quite fingernails like we have, but they're definitely not claws, they're kind of in between. But they've been in an area where survival was important for tens of thousands of years, and it's only now in the past 2,000 years that they've been able to really start working on up here instead of out here. Now, they're not stupid or brutish or thuggish or anything like that. That's just their bodies, their brains and their personalities and all that. They're not terrible people. Their bodies and their minds, bodies and brains are kind of a little at odds because they're intelligent, curious people, just like people, with bodies that have been evolutionary designed to live in this area. But now they're moving down in this direction. The Api Hulat are discovering that they are more of a farming type. They really like settling down and farming. The Orani, they call very, very few, actually, even among their own types, the Habu and the Api, they call very few of them Hulat, people among themselves, because they are more hunter-gathering type, living with the land. They don't overhunt, they don't over-forage. They travel, they move, and when you settle down and farm, you can't settle down anywhere without having a negative impact on where you are. Doesn't matter what creature, everything from wolves to people, whales, you have a negative impact on where you are. It's just hopefully the positive impacts sort of mitigate the damage. but they don't like the whole farming stuff, especially the whole city building stuff. But as people are people, there are also the Orani that when they've seen and experienced an urban experience, they don't really want to go back to living out there. They like it here. And among the Orani, there are not just Api and Habu that lived among them, but there are Goya and Dwarlin that upon seeing and experiencing their culture have adopted it and live amongst them in accordance with their culture. So it's not a terrible thing. It's just cultural mixes. But yeah, they don't look upon anyone there as... You really have to earn their respect. But because they're just starting their push south into the continent that is much more accommodating than what's been where they have been, at the same time, as in not just, oh, we showed up here, you showed up, we showed up, what a coincidence. No. As they'd been moving and pushing here, the more richer merchants and merchant industries were starting to show up and take a look at what was happening and then meet with people. And now you've got the flow of information and people going back and forth. And so a couple 100 kilometers south of the main settlements, I figure some merchants wanting to make a whole bunch of money. A couple 100 kilometers south of that, set up their own new settlement. Now they put the money, they put the energy, there's nothing secretive about it. One of the big things about the people in this world versus the people of our world is they don't want to grind anyone underneath their boot. Yeah, it's corporations, you know, they're merchants. They want to make money. They will put their boot on your neck. But they're horrified at the thought that they should put pressure on that? No. They'll rule with an iron glove. You know, no, an iron fist. But they're not going to smack anyone with it. That idea horrifies them too. If you can't do something, they're not going to just let you die. If you can't do it, they'll ship you somewhere else where you can do something for them that's not here. And things are a little bit more cooperation oriented and a little less bloodthirsty there. But in this settlement, there is a woods. And they're got the place set up. And they're not bringing in adventurers or this or that or the other because they don't want to really risk their own. Now that the settlement is there, they're bringing in people, places are getting set up. It's you bring us stuff, we'll give you money. And so people are going to this town and it's growing upward. Now the town, the wood that it's in, that's more of an odd one. Because you have to make things strange, and I've already figured that this one is very odd. But this wood that they're in is more of like a superposition area, kind of like the Razor's Edge type stuff. In that there's a lot of there, but there's not a lot of there, as in space, for all that there. So you may think you have an area fully plotted out, and then you go by there one day and you notice on the side of that cliff that you've been going past 1,000 times, there's an abandoned fort that looks like it's been abandoned for about 10,000, or not 10,000, you know, for like 50 years. So you've got a place to go in and look and check out. This stuff happens. So there's always new places to go and always new things to find. Now, for the people to go out and do them, it is dangerous to go out alone. So you've got looking for group type situations where you don't want to go out on your own, you need others. So they'll look for others to fill in a party of about 4 people. And I figure that adventurers to get to know each other. You're not just going to hire someone and go, okay, here's your cash, show up on Thursday, and then we're going into a dungeon. This is life or death. This is you're going to be spending your time with them. It's like going camping on a murder camp where you have to murder the things that are trying to kill you to stay alive as you go camping. You need to know if you're going to fit in with everyone else. You need to know if they're going to have your back. They need to know if you're going to have their back. So I figure for about a week what happens is, especially down here, is people hang out. They go off and they get ready for the thing together. And they talk. And they get to know each other. And especially at night, when it starts getting dark and you can't do much more stuff, back at the tavern, you drink and talk and feast. You know, do normal stuff that you would do, except you add a lot of alcohol in with it, and you bond. And at the end of that week, if you have bonded, then you are part of that group. And if you just aren't gonna work, then it's time for you to go off and go look for another group. No hard feelings, you just didn't fit. And so I'm going to be doing something here real quick in this setting with that person. So let me check and see if I have anything left. Oh my God, I am hurting my back and my neck. Don't ever do this. Ow. Oh. That really hurt in many ways. So, since on this continent they add hulat as to meaning people, if there is no hulat at the end, then that's not people. Cave trolls are a branch of the speciation of when the elves got cut off. But they have descended so far, and in the setting that they were, intelligence was really a detriment and next to just staying alive. And so the Kavek, they're just basically animals. Sure, they're canny, they're cunning, you know, they use tools and that they'll have like a club occasionally, but that's it. No language, just grunts, growls, snorts, and hunger. So the Kavek, they used to be Hulat a long time ago maybe, but not anymore. And then nobody's really sure about this one. There's a name, Ogranic, because there's more just rumors and talk, because sometimes things move or vanish, and sometimes people, Hulat and other types, vanish. And sometimes something's seen, something is heard. Right now there's a name Ogranic for it. But everyone's trying to figure out what this is, because it's not just here, it's everywhere. People are talking about this sort of thing. So thumbs up on that. So yeah, there we go. And oh my God, did I talk for a very long time? My sincere apologies. Hey, how do I normally say this? For each and every one of my Patreon patrons, thumbs up and thank you. It is appreciated. You bring me from a badly hurting monkey to just a hurting monkey, and it is appreciated. My vocal cords hurt. And it's time, but I'm trying to make this under 30 minutes. For everyone that leaves me a comment, thumbs up and thank you. It is appreciated. I answer as many as I can, which is not as many as I want, but I read and appreciate as many as YouTube shows me. Thumbs up and thank you. You are good people. I'm going to render, edit, try and do some other things. I might have to do some things tomorrow, but gonna do what I can. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is indeed a very good thing. So, hokey smokes. Time really got away from me. I enjoy talking. I don't enjoy my voice hurting. You know, my voice box. Ow. But you take care. And, yeah. So, talk to you later.